Why trace when you can sketch straight on the material? Watch how a shirt takes shape line by line. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please I urge you all to do so. And by so doing, I and my team are committed to creating exclusive and amazing content on fashion for you guys. Thank you all. So let's jump right to the video. So here, after I have folded the two edges of the opposite side of the material for the button clips, what I did was to arrange the material equally before using my T-square to measure a perfect line, because the T-square will give it a straight line because it's normally at 90 degrees. So I used the T-square to draw a straight line. Then I check my measurement, and the neck for a normal package shirt like this, I divide the neck by 5, but for a native it's normally by 6, but for this it's just by 5. And I give my allowance for the overlapping 0.9 inch. Then I mark the result I divided. Then I take up 1 inch. Then I curve the back part for the back neck fitting. Then in same vein, I'm going to still use same measurement I divided and place it down from the middle line I've drawn. Sit down also in the opposite side. Then after that, what I did, I roll it. Then I mark my overlapping 0.9. So the result will be divided by 5 and minus 0.4 inch. This will help the back shape to overlap well. Instead of putting the same measurement, I just minus 0.4 inch. So yeah, I put 0.9 so that I'll curve the front neck very well. This will help the collar to balance at the front part of the neck. So after that, I just use my tape to cross check it. And this formula, definitely, no matter how the measurement is, if you use this formula, you definitely get the result of your neck. So yeah, now what I do now is to get my shoulder, and make sure you do observe this middle line I first traced with my T-square. And all the measurement I will be doing is from the overlapping, which is 0.9. So for the shoulder, I divided by 2 plus 0.9. Then for the slope of the shoulder, chest divided by 4 minus 0.5 divided by 8 plus 0.75. Then I roll it. So after rolling it, if you observe how I placed the slope of the shoulder, I took up 1 inch from the middle line upward. Yeah. So after that, I want to get my armhole now. From that middle line that I draw with my T-square, I'll divide my armhole by 2, then I'll place it there. Yeah, I'll place it at the opposite side as well, and I'll roll it. And yeah, I'll mark my slope again. I'll mark it towards every part of the button space. Then yeah, I'll measure my shoulder just the same way I measured it previously. Yeah, I'll measure it without the allowance. So follow me carefully. Then I'll roll exactly where I marked the shoulder alone. After rolling it, I'll divide my chest now by 4. Chest divided by 4. Now I'll place it plus 1 inch depending on your preference. Then now the armhole divide by 2. I'll divide the armhole by 2. Before measuring it, I'll take down from the chest line, I'll take down 0.4 inch as my sewing allowance. But when I'm sewing it to blend, then I'll mark my line. Then from there again, I'll divide it by 2. In the same vein, I'll take down 0.5 as you can see. Now mark it. That side, I'll put 1/4 inch just to make the comfort there. Then I'll curve it carefully. As you can see, the shape is forming. Follow the measurement accurately. Then I'll blend it to the shoulder. Then for the inner, I'll put 0.4 so as the inner part of the shirt has to be more comforting than the back part because of your chest line. Then the same slope I placed at the back of the shirt, yeah, I'll put it from the middle line so as to get the front part of the shirt. As you can see now, it looks as though I've gotten both the front and the back. If it looks like that, yeah, you're right. So yeah, I will just cross check my armhole, make sure it's correct. Very certain it came out perfectly, but if you are measuring armhole, make sure the armhole is measured fitted, because this kind of pattern goes for a fitted armhole. So I measured the length of my shirt here. I measured my tummy length, the hip length down to the main length of the shirt, and I did it opposite way as well, you understand, so as to make it accurate, because I'm going to line them up with my ruler. I also added 1 inch allowance previously on the length of the shirt I measured, so make sure you note that. This is actually a uniform type of shirt, so expect things to be different, but it can still be applicable for a normal t-shirt. Just follow me and observe the pattern. So I put my chest measurement towards the down part. For the tummy line, I divided it by 4. Then I put same allowance 1 inch, but if you like, you can put 1.5 inch. So follow me carefully. Yeah, I marked it. The tummy of this particular shirt is bigger than the chest, so you won't expect it to come out as shapy as normal shirt used to look like, you understand. So I divided my hip to divide by 4 plus 1 inch, same allowance in this shirt. So I roll it and I blend it. Sometimes I like to use roller, but most of the times, in some cases, you might want to use freehand sketch. So you can observe this shirt has a big tummy, so the shape won't really come out like that. And for this shirt, I'm doing the bottom part of it like a straight shirt, but I'm just going to show you how a curved bottom part of a shirt can look like as well. So in case you are doing for that, you will know. So I just place up 5 inch here. Then I get my middle line at the bottom before curving it, so as to get the right shape. So yeah, I'll just cut it and follow. I'm cutting the main part, the upper marked part, because that will serve as my back part before I will now sketch out the frontal part out of it, you understand. Now I followed it gradually with my scissors. If you have been watching so far, thank you so much for staying tuned, and what I'll ask you for is to subscribe to this channel. By so doing, I'm entitled to creating more better content for you. Thank you. So as I said earlier on, the bottom part of this shirt is straight because it's for a uniform. Then here I cut my neck part, giving about 0.25 allowance for the collar sewing. Moving on, after I have finished with the first sketch, I folded my material by 2, then I bring out the sketch to recheck it if it really was folded well. So after that, then I place out back the material and bring out 0.9 inch for the overlapping, which I marked while cutting the first part of the sewing. So after that, I arrange the material very well before using my scissors to trim it. And while trimming it, you need to be very careful so that you won't tamper with the exact measurements for the sewing. So just follow through and see how I did everything. I know most of you might be wondering what type of shirt is this, but this is actually a uniform kind of shirt. That's why the bottom is straight. So I now trim the front part of the shirt. As you can see, I know you might be wondering, how are you going to trim this front part? Here is it. So at the neck, I added 0.25 inch and I trim it carefully to help the neck to balance well actually. So for the armhole, I trim out 0.4 away. This will help the armhole to be more comfortable for the person. and so bring out any squeeze when the person wear it at the front part of the shirt. So now for my sleeve, I fold it by 2. I fold it halfway again, and I check my measurement to know the biceps and know how I can be able to space it well, you understand? So after that, I readjust the material and I bring out the front and back shirt to know the exact armhole. So now I mark my allowance. I will measure it from the allowance point. Measure it carefully to know the exact armhole. All the measurement and minus every sewing I will be doing before I measure it. So after I've gotten that, I rechecked it and adjust. That's my T-square. As you all know, I use it to draw a very accurate line. And after rolling it, I readjust it again. The next thing I did was to place my length of the sleeve. I placed the length plus 2.5 inch. I did it in the opposite part of this sleeve too, so that I can be able to balance it with a ruler, you understand? After doing that, the slope of my sleeve here, I got it by dividing the armhole by 9, which gave me 4.5. So I marked it, and my armhole I divided by 2, and I place it adjacent to the slope of the sleeve. That was the reason why I got the star connection there. So I rolled it. After rolling it, I divided the armhole there again by 3, so I can mark it in 3 places. As you can see now, I'm marking 3 places. That the first mark, I raised it up by 0.75, then the other one by 0.6. So after marking it, I sketch it. This will serve as for the front part of the shirt. Then I raise it up with 0.25 inch for the back part of the shirt. So after that, I place 1 inch allowance, then divided the bicep by 2 plus 1 inch again. Then I roll it. Then I added 0.75 inch at the top of the sleeve. Then I cut it, following same 0.75 accurately. Then I notch it and I cut the down part. The short sleeve for me is just very simple to cut. Then after that I notch it. Then I arrange my again to cut the other part of the sleeve. And this is the easiest. You just place it and trim it accurately. Following it, I trim it accurately, and just hold on until you see what I do next after cutting it completely. After that, I opened it and I placed the other part too at the opposite way. So here what I want to do is to trim out the inner part for the front part of the shirt. So I trim away 1/4 inch, as you can see. That is just it about the short sleeve. And if you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.